what is this that people are seeing now?
Okay, so this is just a plant. It's a waste to energy plant. So in this case, we'll have a plant where we convert human waste into electricity, clean and usable electricity. Now use clean because there's a purifying process involved.
We're listening.
Yeah. So should I break it down for you on how it
Please.
goes? Okay. So this is what we call a dryer. So human waste in this case can be used to, okay, can collect human waste in terms of, okay, manually, like I could say manually, and this can be done by the community. Yeah, it's just something that can help the community can take part in. Once the waste is collected, okay, not only human waste personally as well, we can also use as well as waste like garbage and all the like. So
Let me simplify it for you. If members of the community can get involved, so we are speaking of people that have latrines, right? They can collect manually.
Yeah.
But let's use the old way. We used to see that chiburule, chijachimotoka chiziwaka, chikapompa ma human something.
yeah.
Yeah. So if we were to use that, it gets, and then it comes to dump into your
Into the, yeah, we call them the dryers. In short.
The dryer.
So they
Okay.
deliver it to us, then we place them into the dryers. The dryer is actually used to take off the moisture, the water, the vapor, and all the like.
so that what you remain with is what?
What remains with is complete dry waste, just waste. Dry.
Okay.
It should be
Uh-huh.
dried.
Now we are getting somewhere.
So the dryers are just used to dry the waste.
So in this case, you collected manually.
So in this case, we collected. Yeah, I did collect manually. Then placed it into the dryers, of which the dryers are being heated right now. As you can see, there's quite heat.
A brazier down here.
Yes.
Okay.
So after the waste has been dried, it's processed into this. We call this a combustion chamber. So for the combustion chamber, the process is just simply to burn the waste. In this case, since we're using dry combustion, we're burning the waste completely to a point whereby it causes high temperature steam. This high temperature steam, which is here, is helping to rotate the turbine. There's a turbine here. You can see this fan, right? So in this case, we're using the fan as a turbine, as a steam turbine. So this steam turbine is going to rotate this generator, which is going to power on the bulbs you can see right here.
That is what you are telling us. It's power generating.
Yeah.
How can you convince people that the entire Chilenja will be lit by this system?
This system is quite simple, but okay, it does work. In this case, there's already about 3 countries so far in this world that are running a similar process under dry combustion.
You copied from them.
Not copied, but I just added up some ideas from there.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's go and see. So here, by the way, you the viewers that are watching us,
Yeah.
there's nothing like smell.
Yeah, sure.
It's all clean. Maybe that's where you say clean energy, right?
Sure.
So when it dries, is there any chemical that's added to this
Yeah, so we just add some chemicals that would kill the scent.
to kill the scent?
Yes.
No wonder it's like this. Okay. And then when you say there's a transfer of what?
So the waste is transferred to this combustion chamber, of which it burns. We burn it in this was combustion chamber.
Is it not
Yeah,
supposed to
sealed.
burn from here because there's a brazier down here?
So here we're just using this as a dryer. These are just the dryers. There's just a little bit of heat just
Okay.
to help it dry. Then in here there's heat, very high heat.
So it runs as what? Solid?
So it
As
runs
it
as
comes
solid,
in?
yeah, and
Or
it gets
liquid? Some
solid,
form of some
solid.
Okay.
Yeah, so it moves in as solid. Then from here there's high heat, of which we use to burn the waste completely to a point whereby it causes high temperature steam. So instead of this water boiling at 100 degrees, you find it can go up to 300 to 500 degrees plus, because due to the high heat that has been caused in here. Then thereafter we'll see high temperature steam, which can rotate our turbine, and the turbine powers on the generator, which produces electricity.
As opposed to the water flowing in the Kariba, turning on the turbines, in this case it's the high temperature, the heat that is here out of human waste that's causing your turbine to turn around
Yes.
and create electricity.
Yes.
Let's
So
see that.
okay, in this case, the reason why I went with this idea is because okay, I looked at the challenge we're facing so far in Zambia, and I saw to say this is actually the best idea because we can either choose to run with high temperature steam, but looking at a case whereby we run out of water, right? We can still run this process instead of using steam. We can still use a biogas generator, of which this was is while the syngas that's in here, since this is not actually smoke. What is we're collecting from here, we're actually collecting syngas. So the syngas can be driven direct into the biogas generator, of which it powers on steam. So it can either work with steam or it can work without steam. So in this case, if we had a challenge of, I would say, rain, like we have right now, this system will still work, wouldn't be
Human waste is
affected.
always there.
It's always there.
Oh, I'm with you, bro. Okay, give it to us.
So in this case, I would say, okay, the reason why we use this combustion chamber, we use a sealed and insulated chamber, so that we prevent smoke instead of creating smoke. Since I'm wondering to say I talked about
Zema
complete-
wouldn't tolerate that. The Zambia Environmental Management
Yeah,
Agency
yes.
would be your enemy because they want to ensure that everything that's happening at industry level is something that protects the environment also.
Yes, sure,
Okay.
sure. So due to those effects, we decided to use a sealed and insulated chamber, which prevents completely no oxygen penetration. In that case, instead of producing smoke, we rather produce syngas because there's absence of oxygen in this process, and this syngas is what we use to power on the generator.
Okay.
Yeah. So either ways, steam or no steam, the process still works without violating air quality standards.
All right. Good. So let's see how our power would come on if this were to be actualized.
So, okay, let me just power it on for you. As the waste has already been dried up in the dryers, it has already been driven into the combustion chamber, of which it has already undergone the dry combustion as its gasification, while we've already bent it. Yeah, so what we're collecting from here is the high temperature steam, of which when we remove the seal, the turbine begins to rotate. As it rotates, it powers on our generator.
You don't need to connect it anywhere.
Yeah, so I don't, I don't need to connect it anywhere.
All you need is the
Just
heated
this. Yes.
pointing there.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
So as it starts to point, the turbine
Begins to rotate.
It begins to rotate. As it starts to rotate, the
Power
bulbs have
is-
to be powered on. As simple as that.
Won't that then need us to have some kind of a big or huge of this kind of machine
In this case,
in the actual sense?
no. So in this case, what we need is just a generator.
Up to how many megawatts of power do you envision this can give us?
This can remove kilowatts. I would
Kilowatts.
say. Yes. So it's it's reliable. We can run a community. The whole nation can depend on this.
Okay, sure, let's go.
So
In this case, so we say that the pressure has been mounting in the pipe.
yes, it has been mounted in the pipe.
Okay.
So so as you can see, as the steam begins to rotate the turbine, the bulbs are being powered on, and the electricity is being produced. So this is the steam turbine in this case. It's rotating the generator, powering on the bulbs.
So if we were now to take this electricity into homes, this is where now we have the pipe or pipes, electric cables
Yeah, and
running
as well-
into people's homes.
Yeah, as well as we can just place batteries, of which we can just store excess electricity in order to, just to prevent versus like shedding and all the like. So we can just store some excess sources.
In short, it's to just connect a cable from this into the main electricity grid, isn't it? And that would be it.
And that's it.
All right. How then do you intend to sell this idea to ZESCO, the government generally, and other partners?
So in this case, I would prefer partnering because I know where this idea is going. So a collaboration would be better in this case because maybe the idea might just end somewhere. But I prefer in the future I look to renovating it and adding extra ideas to it, in the case whereby out of this waste we can produce more substances, we can produce wax which we can use, and yeah, it can be very helpful for the community as well. So I feel I have the vision and I can take it where it's supposed to be or where it's heading. Yeah.
Good idea. All the best. How do they get in touch with you?
Okay, so they can just confirm me. I have an email address which they can either email me, stbernard681@gmail.com, or they can either just reach out to my numbers 0976 30 8562, 0976 30 8562, or 0974 51 76 96, or they can either reach out to my social media platforms, which are Real St. Bernard.